Welcome back to another Spencer Touches Grass adventure. Today I'm in the Alaskan Rainforest up in the northern region, kind of in the peninsula. I got a 6-mile hike ahead of me up to the lake I'm going to hopefully target some grayling, and then once I limit out on grayling, I'm gonna switch over to trout and dollies. That's like a Arctic char. And so yeah, pretty much just gonna do a lot of hiking today. Tomorrow do a lot of fishing, and then Saturday hike back. So yeah, happy 4th, everybody. Look at this little guy on the path. It's Mother Nature's chicken right there. Unfortunately, he's not in season. This time of year, ptarmigans and pheasants and stuff up here. Hang on, there we go. This time of year, they're illegal to hunt because they're still too young, usually. So it's not fair to them. But yeah, he's lucky because that's a good amount of meat on that little bird there, and he's not super far away or agile. So check out this little guy on the trail. He's like a woodland camo frog or something. Might be a toad. See if I can get him to move. There he goes. Never seen a nest this low before. As far as like a large bird, I'm guessing it's an eagle's nest. That's pretty cool. So cool. Look at that. Big old family of ducks. And this bridge here and signage, it's a good thing because it means that we made it to the lake. I am extremely exhausted. It's like 10:30 p.m. Looks like 9, but all these bugs on the water are a good sign. I haven't seen any fish in the water yet, but yeah, I'm pretty excited. All right. You guys have no idea how good it feels to have this pack off. The lake is over here, but I had picked this spot because there's a tree, 2 good trees here, but this tree will also give me some additional coverage so I don't have to rely so much on the tarp. And there's actually a fire ring over here with a bear box, because this is more of like a national forest area as opposed to just the wilderness like last time. Hence the bridge and stuff. But yeah, I'm super tired. It was definitely more than 6 miles. I charted it out closer to 9 miles, which my pack is not a backpacking pack by any means. And it's also loaded a bit heavier than a backpacking setup. I have a full-sized axe on there with a 4-pound head. I have my gun on there, which is definitely not very lightweight, unfortunately, and big old tarp and stuff. So yeah, I think you guys might be able to see how soaked my back is. I'm super sweaty, but I learned from my lesson last time and upgraded to some muck boots, and then they got some tread on them, and I got my Dickies pants and I covered them in beeswax. So my setup is substantially more waterproof, or at least water resistant, aside from the water that is coming from the sweat on my feet. TMI, sorry. But yeah, so that should help with some killer fishing over here in the river. I can't believe how clear the water is. It's literally like crystal clear. All right. Peep the strategy we got here. So this is my second rendition. Tarp is spanning between a rope tied to a nice branch here. And then this branch is spreading it out more tent-like, so it's not directly on top of me. And then I got my blanket this time, so I'm not gonna get cold, except I forgot my hoodie in the car. Fortunately, didn't need it on the way up. Honestly, didn't need anything. I was sweating to death, but then got the rest of my stuff down here. Got that bad boy for sure, but I don't know. This is definitely a lot more of a legitimate campsite than last time. I feel a lot like I got a lot more resources readily available, especially if we can get some fish tomorrow. So, all right, it's morning. Just got done with my sleep adjacent behavior, and I'm gonna go start a fire, see if I can warm up a little bit. The blanket was a miracle. It was super nice, but no matter what I did, I always got cold on the bottom. So I'm just gonna have to figure something else out later, but for now I'm gonna get the fire going and try and warm up. Got the fire going pretty good. It's warmer than it looks. That's why I'm so close. Now I'm gonna go get my rod ready, see if I can catch some breakfast. If not, I still got oatmeal, but I'm not really feeling oatmeal right now. I'm kind of just feeling a taste for victory on the water. So, back at the campsite, got the fire going again. Wish I could say it was from the rain. Can't really tell it's raining. Some cool ducks over there. Got brown heads. But I'm mostly soaked from when I fell in the river trying to save my hat, which is now gone, as you can tell. Yeah, I was in the river because I have these muck boots that go up to almost my knee, and I got this snag on my cast, like first cast, which I was fishing where everyone said to go, but it's like full of sticks and stuff. Like, I don't know what they're fishing with if they're not just like snagging immediately, but that's what happened to me. Is I snagged immediately, and trying to save the snag, save the line. I lost my hat when I walked into the more rapid part of the river, and then fell in trying to save it and got soaked. So I'm starting this fire, or getting this fire going really good, so that I can dry out my boots and my second pair of socks that I'm already wearing. And hopefully I can get dry-ish. There's a woodpecker right there. That's pretty cool. As far as the trip is going so far, kind of miserable. I'm debating on just like heading back and enjoying my 4th of July tomorrow in more of a modern luxury fashion. Maybe see if I can get a last minute ticket to the car launch or something. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I still really want to catch a fish, but part of the problem is this water is crystal clear, and I have not seen a single fish, and I've been looking this whole time. And I went right where everybody said to go, right where Google said to go, and nothing. So, yeah, I got to get my boots and socks dried out first. That's why I'm still working on this fire, but everything's so wet, it's hard to find wood that is actually dry enough to burn so I can dry out my boots and socks. So, yeah, wish me luck. You know, things haven't quite gone as planned this trip, except for this oatmeal. Um, this oatmeal looks awesome. It's very warm on my freezing cold legs. But I feel like camping provides a lot of value just in like sort of a reset. You realize how like little things you need to survive, but also how like nice certain luxuries are, like having a dry roof over your head and having enough clothing that you can be adequately warm wherever you go. And like I feel like we just live in a society where like there's so much excess and so much drive towards over consumerism. But when you get out and you touch some grass, you go camping, you kind of like realize what really matters and what's really important. Um, that being said, really wish I would have caught a fish. Um, I I'll probably give the dock or the bridge a try if I can see any kind of indication of fish in there, but um, I just don't think that's gonna be the case because that does not seem to be the way this trip is going. But there's like other people camping around here, and none of them are fishing at all. And again, I think it's probably just too early in the season. I'm just chomping at the bit to get out here and get some of these like cool um, Arctic fish species and native trout species and stuff. But patience is a virtue, and that's a virtue that I am yet to develop. But I'm gonna pound out this oatmeal. Probably not finish the whole thing, but I just made enough that I'd have enough energy to make it back to the car, despite the fact that I only got like 3 hours of sleep, maybe. So, yeah. Made it to the bridge. The bridge is like 3 miles away from where I camped, maybe more. I'm gonna have like a little outro I've decided with the actual mileage versus what Google told me it was, as well as the total weight of my pack, so we can see if I'm just being a pansy or if I really did bite off more than I could chew. But yeah, this bridge is pretty cool. It goes over the river that I was trying to fish on, that I swam in. That is the trailhead. I cannot tell you how glad I am to see that trailhead. The last mile and a half, 2 miles of this hike were sort of like a blur to me, because you know when you start at the hike and it's like you're so excited about getting there that aren't really paying as much attention. I don't know. But yeah, I felt like way too long. Here's a Jeep trail I gotta take. Might record some of that, might not. But yeah, my truck is right over here. There she is. I'm not gonna record the whole thing because it's 2 miles long. But this is the kind of road we're dealing with here on this Jeep trail. I gotta take it from further back to show the vehicle movement to really emphasize these bumps here. I've said it probably a million times, but I genuinely think this vehicle was designed for this state. It is so good for just random crap like this. So yeah, anyway, I made it back to the apartment. Changed into these gym clothes I had in my car that were left over from the gym yesterday and were somehow less disgusting than the clothes I was wearing. But yeah, I did ran some numbers, checked the stats, and the trail is 6 miles, but it's like it ended about a mile from where I camped. So I ended up hiking 7 miles in, 7 miles out. That's 14 for you that don't do math. And then with that, my pack, so I weighed out my pack, and I expected it to be heavy because I did carry it both ways. And the whole time, my shoulders were killing me. My traps are super sore. And I was like, I'm just being a baby. I need to stay out here and fish another day. Like, I'm going to regret coming back in one day or what. All these thoughts are going through my mind. And I weigh my pack, and it weighed out to 63 pounds, which the average ruck in the military, like their ruck packs, which are typically heavier than like your backpacking setup, is 30 pounds. And they try to stick at like 15% of their body weight. And right now, 63 pounds is like over 30% of my body weight, by probably 5 or 6 pounds. So yeah, not good. Especially because my backpack is not like a backpacking backpack. It's just like a bug out bag or like a good like camping backpack, but it doesn't have like a hip belt or like a chest support. So yeah, I had a ton of weight on my back for a long distance to be hiking in muck boots, not even like hiking boots or anything. So yeah, I definitely am really tired after like 3-ish hours of sleep, and each of those hours was individual too. So I don't even know if a single REM cycle was to be had last night. But all I know is that, yeah, I'm very tired, already sore, and disappointed a lot of people that were headed up to the trail when they asked with a lot of excitement, how's the fishing? And I said, did not see a single fish. They're like, oh, we're going for grayling. I said, yeah, I was too. They're not here yet. And yeah, kind of like the same as the last spot I was at. Don't know why I thought it'd be different after only 2 weeks. Other than this was supposed to be, the spot I went to is supposed to be like one of the best places to catch trophy grayling. Arctic grayling is the fish I was going for. Just because it sounds awesome, you know? Arctic is in the name. It sounds pretty cool to me. And they fight pretty hard. Like they got a good amount of like battle in them. But I've yet to see one. And I went to 2 different spots that are supposed to have a ton. So I don't know what's going on, but I will say that doing hard things is worth it, because now I am once again extremely grateful just to have a bed and a shower and a towel and the ability to get dry after the shower. And I'm grateful to not be wet right now. And those are all things that I take for granted. So I wouldn't say it's a failure by any means, but I definitely am sad about coming back empty-handed. I guess I didn't come back completely empty-handed because I swung by Costco on the way home and destroyed a rotisserie chicken, but yeah, that was not in their original itinerary. But anyway, peace out.